Mama will be a Joe. Maybe I will be a number welcome to any show. No, he GH. You see, over the weekend, I'm saying, and semi-brie and our coso. Yeah, follow up with Caleb issue. No, and the question, a person you be saying, say, young commander, a Gufado's government. So I'll make a very swift, a decisive decision in regards to. So I'll my fire for, or they've been sacked from the national security and transferred back to their previous posts. Those are no police department or Omoko. The interesting thing is the Colonel himself, which is Colonel Ajimai, he's part of those people they say Omo Enko Ene. The idea is recommend the government, We are also going to look into that story. Then the using so reforms. But we know the public reaction to the reforms, NDC national chairman of Usampofo, or say, using the reforms now, a Chelsea listener will losing credibility, precisely electoral commissioner will losing credibility. Because practice say the EC, the Chief Justice, which is a nearby, and and the President precisely, they've teamed up to rig the 2024 elections. General Sedunketia has voiced out, or CDBC, sir, about to open now, Ghana for expressing 2024, no, it been CBU that. From every young crowd, EC recruits unknown political parties to endorse its decisions. We are yet to get into that story. We do not disgrace all the proposals. Oh, sorry, we do not disagree with all the proposals of the Electoral Commission, according to Sami Jemfi. That is also an interesting story. We'll also get into it. Then, NDC boycott the IPAC is temporary, according to a free anchor, meaning so almost 30 pace, needs to your interest. Oh, look, let me cast a memory back. Some time back, okay, NPP agitated, said, near my IPAC no any legal backing because it's more or less like a consultative assembly. Council Nikeke, you see the pan offer, you see the power on fat. So at this point, Bibia become Obi, and it's just a mere opinion I will share. And if that is the case, it still makes the yeast, make like the final arbiter. And that's all can be a influence. No matter how cogent it will sound, at the end of the yeast independent, no impose on them. And then, MP4 make his suggestion when they were in opposition some time back was shut down. And the same thing has resurfaced itself. NDC is also saying, Yema IPAC, in your background. We all listen to a Sedin Ketia or call Angel FM or Kasapa. Or he talked a lot about reforms now. Because he practiced so as a more kind later on, sorry. Kofu be brave, abba, church him say, practice some kind. I mean, too early so be conclude say nanado any chief justice because maybe an for people and a lot of people were wondering why so the judiciary back into the elections because their responsibility setting when they are dispute in elections. And our court make it clear as they did in 2012 election petition. So almost as said there should be reforms now. Then the question most people are saying is that if everything was okay, why is he reform this time around? I say, change of voting time, not necessary. According to political scientist Dr. Asa Asante, has called on the EC to focus on more pertinent issues than cutting vote time from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. Look, I agree with him because one, as I said before, because I need delay. You see, he said, these are some of the proposals are using to be a buyer. Okay? Two, they say, also cut the time now, voting from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. Look, so we have very reflective analysis on what happened during the 2020 general elections. Now you'll be aware observant. You can clearly tell, say, elections, there was nothing wrong with the elections. Like during the voting, only one or two incidents. One was recorded in Kaswa. But other than that, the only thing we saw is coalition time, any challenges with it. So you see me saying this, you know, I personally believe and I think say it doesn't actually hold. There are more issues you between arriving on. Two tier Asasaria and Okasa or Star News. Okay. He made mention say, but in the also during the interview, you know, Dr. Asante said there are more pressing issues the EC must attend to instead of the time of the close of the polls. The last election brought a lot of problems in the polls, and I believe that is the time that the EC should sit down, probably, and address them head on, he noted. He added, and in our last election, we saw shooting at the electoral polling station. So my worry is that if we do not take care and we do not leave this thing in the past, we get to the election and someone leaves at another level, which we would never be comfortable with. These are the issues must be addressed immediately because they are of great concern to us. Fine, Electoral Commission will stake in addressing the insecurity now, but you see, they are very limited here. When you say Electoral Commission addresses our issue, that a both military and police, so joint team now more forming during the elections. So therefore, the power comes back to the executive. You see, I'm glad say even though Professor didn't seem very convincing with the analysis and all, but what I can make out of this, and then I'm going to be discussed, and I posted this also on my WhatsApp. People say on a scale of preference, okay, if we are to choose between the government setting investigations and acting so swift and decisive on assault on a journalist, okay, Caleb, then investigating 8 people that lost their lives during the 2020 general elections, which one will you choose? Which one is more important and which one is more pressing? You see, a lot of feedback people can say, oh, it's because the military is involved and it's because they did that to serve the government interests. Okay, so here integrity has been compromised. Other school of thought is also holding on to the belief, and they say because Caleb it belonged to City News, which is a very reputable media house in Ghana. If it's not among the first 2, it's among the first 3, if I should put it. Because if you talk about Joy, you talk about City News. Then we make say Nunti, and then the constant push, say yes, certain investigations, you know. But sadly, we see way back in December, we are in the 5th month. We are about to end the 5th month. We are in May. Government into me investigate. They brought this issue to Parliament floor. Almost let's go back into history. 1992. To me, it was very unfortunate when I heard that from Ghana for penny for so much. You see. Because as our innocent people, Sabio, be free big homes and also for any reputation, big reputation in the society. Not say me disrespect your family background, but I'm describing it as it is. It may be a omunya justice, no, but that is not how justice system SA administer. So now we've talked about the EC reforms, we've talked about Caleb. We'll go back into the national security again. Okay. Now, say Ubia Beka Ayawaso by elections now. I want us to start that analysis from there. Okay. Ayawaso by elections, you know. After a short commission, you know, almost 30 years, you know, their report would say that special unit within the national security, you know, in dissolving, you know. Because you see, if we actually know what national security is about, I don't think say it needs a combating force, because the combat operations are in the hands of the Ghana Police Service. And under the police in the ground, they have different units. The national security solely actually deals with intel. They coordinate information from the police and the military, okay? In which the president itself chairs the national security meetings. With owning money briefings. This is the current security of the country. Intelligence, I am picking up. This is what he says. So a lot of people are very surprised. Say, you to me, a war unity be say. And all what most Ghanaians are saying is, we've seen how some influential people are using national security into their interests. That unit side, no, because most of them only identity. You can't trace them. Almost commit crime. The brain, so you're more gun handling. It creates a culture of impunity. Say, you Yenhwe la Cote d'Ivoire. President by inauguration Ghana. Oba ne chino mate gugu. So omu demand wage increase. Some of them, excuse me, are not disciplined. They are like political supporters in recruiting omo into the services, which taint the integrity of the services. Sadly, we in a kind of work now to say, making sure say be dissolve. And the call is and come dissolve your deal we after the short commission now, report now, and can kasa issue and can resurface and answer in repeating itself. So this is a very important issue. And then you must say that these are the three issues I ever be looking into it. And you know, you better try and pay experts maybe on board. Yeah, no more. I started. I know, so that is the power of the social media. Let me comment blogger beer, podcaster beer, Calip assembly by and voice it out. Okay. You see, sir, collective voice now we put in together. Not necessarily say a put pressure. All right. I do say. Yeah, there we have got the
Oh, okay.
All right. Once more, welcome you to a show in HGH. It's been a while now. Yeah, no Kasai. Then the issues be three and up as we give you notice in the course of the week, and the best security take on that, you know. And as shown here, course na Kasano, there will be other 2 or 3 people that will also join us. We are likely to hear from Kingsley, from NC. Then we are likely also to hear from Manasseh from Massachusetts. But yeah, talking about Calip issue, you know, City News journalists no more sorting, you know. 2, you see reforms. Then 3, we'll be talking about the national security again. So yeah, started with Calip there. No? Once we say comments in the social media, they say major platforms in our yeah, you redo comments but maybe more say podcasters and more broadcasting on especially at the face of African Ghanaian social media, no more pressure and the more president, you know, and back on this. We commend the president for making that decision. As a result of the public opinion, him said it has led to the no resignation. This guy has been fired. 4 national security people has been fired from the national security, being transferred back to their regular posts. And that wasn't the only directives. They say I investigate you more. Say no police unit the call is that police for investigating the conduct, you know. So they will determine the other consequences. So, and that's what punishment and it deserves. So, what is your take on this?
Yeah, I know I have here. Right. At least I responded, but again, no, I think that the response is much of a populist response.
Can you repeat that?
I say I have here, but the response no is just for popularity. Like, okay, I'm not back on one thing, and he has taken action. You get clear, clear.
Oh yes, we get you.
Yeah. Now, recently I was saying that I think I will be crying about here. You understand? Say, I am signing on a home miner. You get it. And I see a punishment of a video a man. Because you know, I can't have a general salary. Every time a Juma crowd, you are not going to reduce it. Or more time for Juma, while they are investigating they are suspending. If you know, no make me affect investigation. You get it. It's good. Then America, instead of you are the plus of the tariff, they are buying about. So you're the plus of our tariff. So you are taking action. Okay, I already have signed you. I mean, it will be brutalized. You will say, now, person stress there. Open press, yes, you don't. You reassign the person, or you make the person practically set aside. Say they're okay. They say the next question you need not be investigation. So, Banner said, and now for it, no, no, so crown or who means you are affecting investigation. For so many of us. It is about time. They say, just a new one, because I agree on that. Obi di bone, police di bone, a question, okay, you're transferring. Transfer a punishment. Transfer the penalty, it's where you just cause a little bit of uncomfort to be now.
But
you know, it's about
on say,
yes.
I mean, men disrespect you more. On say, men can say it be a police no and your papa. But a lot of people in the secret service and all the forces, no, if I should combine it, they see the national security to be the top notch. It will be a professor at least where military and also
But you
police in
know,
Puna, yeah, they not
they're
cover.
punishing the psychological. The
That's what
amount
they
of
think. You've been
emotional trauma or
demoted.
psychological trauma into the
That's that.
so be our home, but here the carbon. And again, I'm not saying the police. I mean, say I'm the bad Ghana and the police bad encounter.
Oh, what Ghana is here?
There may come and then there's a time I'm Ghana. Over 30 years, I'm saying Ghana. There has been time. I call a truck station. I could cut ticket. Tell me two coins. Now, driver was the first one, but tricks do not drive a sneaky business. I can't later almost. Me say me do me refund. Obviously, Ghana and refund. No, me call police station. First officer, me share. Oh, na say the nyeke. Me say why me penny wa? Me ya no mo tell me. Me call penny no, me catch na. But say na kola me call do refund. My refund was just a 2 cedis.
Really?
So for the police here, for me, they are the best. I'm telling you. And it's was tsunami when she station. So it's not even a crowd at the KTV. So they are. So if police or more have been crashing or yes, I mean, they think that's all one. But that national security now, you who will be free now. Yakopa party, who you say, I don't know, say. Because as I said, I make a say, when you show that I won't pay you for the cry away, or Mumulek, or Monko on the town.
Indeed.
Or your commander, or no one a prayer, practically they are in the self actualization stage. Ọmọ ọgbọ asuma then obtain then obenya. What I say, it is these people now serving. That come to tell what carry on now. Only nyans are also in the trade. Odi bone so a yede ko court mate lawyer or book judge eyin nkrofo prima. They are charge them how. I mean it is yeah for chipping me as a prison na me tia ko yin no na e charge them. The about fight they ever charge them 1,000. And they say, yeah, for and $100 or $1,000. And you know, I mean, a situation, no one to say.
Only BB. I think, sir, I mean, what you are saying, to some extent, because who notice, I want to say recently, there's been a culture of impunity in the country. And the government has actually come under attack. Do you say it's just to restore the image and answer for popularity to some extent? Because one say after Ayawasu incident, this was some of us believe. As a government, it to me react on the report, seeing dissolve our unit we under the national security because we don't need this unit. Security me yes, I
we have a problem. Canada, Japan, problem. Because you put as a city of here. Get a national security. They say mine is two. They pay for it. National security. No money. I got you. The national security. No pastor man. Don't for the boys. I mean, so we didn't go now. Any kind of incident. Police were having no party. And you have more money, more extra 500, 800, no more disrespect. I mean, what's the point? Then, why then? Why they eat that stuff? They have more better reduce to a
I understand, but you see, under normal circumstances, national security, from my understanding of security architecture, they don't need a combating unit. They don't. Intel,
I mean, national security.
You can't even identify them. Even if they are which yes, you can identify them.
National security. Who are national security? I won't know what are you securing because maybe most of the food. As an Mayana, maybe so. And I mean, I'm not going to be in the money of my airport. If it will be only me, I said, I obey. I took my identity. I can after you just see. I am national security. You show yourself like that. How are you going to gather intelligence? I mean, sometimes, yes.
I know. I
I'm
just
not
say.
the iron prospect. It's not say, we are no apart and take it to a dinner because it's a and I'm not justifying those things, but I am the one of frustration. I get to the point that I feel I'm a boy so graduate that I can be a point to the day. Okay, for and wait a minute, the name of the after
I think frustrations among the youth, the frustrations in sometimes they disrespected leaders. No,
But
I
I
need
think one thing I want to say is that it needs to be evolution. What they are saying.
right.
First, no, I am saying for my end. What they are saying, for Kata, I spoke for prayer. I don't have to say yes for your DBA now. That they are not proper. If they say no, I'm not using to take advantage. The freedom of never if you find a speaker of treatment, if find a speaker of treatment, and normal should not be the fun. We should move away from complaining. We should be the fun of solving the problem. What they are saying. If you know, for example, there's enough for EDD, I can say in that lots of people are doing it. It's in a sentence how we are saying that. So, for example, what I said, if you are to go to the picture, not details, GPS, so they are saying now with that, you can pick those people and give it to them. And you can get it. So it's about time I use to also apart from a was again to 2 hours, no be acceptable. You have to start also making sure that we are acceptable. Because sometimes we can take it at the moment. Yes, sure, that's all one who is the champion best to be a man. And yes, I don't
I just say, ube holding on kakrabi. Just a second. Let me add the order. Colon on the line, okay? Just a second. Maybe the other guy didn't so. You try say you been all right, Manasi.
Record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press.
All right, this is Yankasa.
Okay.
So,
I'm not making the say, you have to be taking that. And if you have no fight, but I mean, we should start because I am here for the work. I'm almost balance. I have put in out to deny, and not something you deny, we deny. I wish that there was this time I have to smart, but I didn't want to produce a picture, or produce a pound, or produce it. But I think it's about time I used to know more about that. You should let your people start sending those videos, those pictures of people who are doing that. That's the also now because you can't just insult them. I mean, people are giving to themselves or 5 million. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's about time we also try to set it down. More not what them on the 50%. So now, yes, you'll be at it. And if you are 70, and I have a view. But I think at that point, it can now tell you whoever you are. Once it gets action, you get it.
Yep.
Now you can tell people what and who do your press for the women organizers.
I know it's very interesting. We
press conference, can you imagine the impunity?
there's a culture of impunity. Yes.
I know you have to, and I'm you're fine, say, you're going to now, I'm going to find another normal problem to put up from soldiers now, motion. Well, the soldier did the man to be done, who is you village fire. We are aware of village fire there. I don't think the soldiers are going to get it. It's in the most time, or no name, you know, time for it. Now, why am I sure I did? How about buying a little bit of gas with only a percent of GP for the next 4 5 months? Huh? And yet, you have some of us say, "I'm buying for GC on our more and I later my papa for money." Because the first one, look at Obi to say, Dr. Fonton, they grab them pan or more, yes, how do you relate to things like that? What's the crap I was not at home yet? And she said, "Man, no, you're the great idea, and I show this to send Dr. Fonton working. That's great and I. This is in your fan command. This is on one board, or no service, the only certificate.
But you see,
I'm buying it to only a Jumaya. Only a person and command or I mean, what a wow, and I'm not saying that distraction is good, but the way my of my only fear is almost equal. Sure, good. How much your movement organized at the AFC, I have yes. That's how what I mean. I mean, almost share people to do. Every people, but almost share people. And she should have somebody is not.
but you see, that what you say, may no be a disagreement, kakra, because you know why? This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, looking at the cost or the price of Saudi, and the government will confiscate the idea. If you be truthful to it, you don't necessarily have to burn the excavators. Media, I don't think.
It's not your money.
Yes.
It's not you, the government. It's not your money. And you see, kind of will. And I'm the same case. And if I call now, more on person will say, I don't know what could you find.
Yes.
Why is it that everybody wants government to build toilets? Every time I say, we have to be organic. That's what I say. It's the only reason why I think that they should, because who are good at all the building. Because I could do my work here. So there's never no need to find for I find that I'm making all for years. If you would get a fire, don't you save your own caterpillar that is worth 120,000 by buying fuel, 10,000 Ghana, and start and pretend to by the time I pretend to be in, I'm not granted for Ukraine. If you are buying one, I say, I compare or more than and I make a here the doctor from what you have. So, why did no organ of this you have my head? What do you do? Fine, I will give you a call. Now, fine, your fan command. Oh, this you no back to be no, there no, or no, so they get why your fan command. Or when you answer, yes, you are more you. Or more. And I also tell you, or more, you are more excavators. Or more excavators. You are for one for 40. I know the same transfer as another American. I think excavator.
I said, I'll call BCCC or Flagstaff House. He's close to the president. I want to see.
I know what if you know what's not like my way, say, on your day. I find when I'm the man at the end of the air, and I won't pay independent from the from which my the guardian. When I make a cake, you know, you even know that he wanted to be president of Ghana. I don't even tell title for president. If you are, look at that.
And this one, yeah, looking at the second issue, no. Yeah, share. I'm saying, granted, the workers are all called that. Now, you see, this is what the EC is saying, or say, or proposing reforms. So, I don't even know how to start this. The question a lot of Ghanaians are asking is, if everything was okay or right in 2024 elections, why the need for these reforms? Reforms now, the main one who proposes and saying cut the time off from 5 p.m. to 3 p.m. when the polls will end. A lot of people have opposed that. Two.
I know the effort. I know the emotion. I know the that's why I know the effort. I think this is the elections right here.
It is Okasa they were check account.
They say if you say this is the best election that why you Ghana. And now practically the best election across Ghana had.
I saw what the response from NDC for.
I will know election now you could be for election now the challenging in court now omoko yes actually in court.
But you see, there is a pause, please. The killings in there, sometimes I want to blame it East very well. Because that was, what the DM said, because the conduct of the elections, East on the part, in the national security, which is sorry, the joint task force between the military and the police is one role or play, okay? But you see, that is what some of us are saying. If government, on a scale of preference, if I should put it, if government has been able to prioritize it, an assault case over murder, we were just talking about that during the beginning of the show. Say, your board journalists, government to me are responding. And then as I killing, yeah, we mentioned this, government has been very silent about that issue.
He doesn't care.
What do you mean he doesn't care? Human life is more important than you assaulting somebody.
Yes, but they are not telling you that this is the best election. The government does not even see anything wrong with this election. And I want to say to a value human life. The best you be minister na yekuno. The best you be oh no after na yekuno. And I'm not going to say that with confidence, right? Let me tell you, election how do you call that the best election? Every election, I best set. I don't even know that controversy. And normally you are not thinking of that as a report. When you say you see national ID card, when you say data now, what you know, very reconcile. And I say, you say, you do those ID card, you want that controversy now our best step to say we need the ultimate both ID card. And no near reform. What guy I mean, I have a country say, and swab and the import, always what America.
I do say, what might be a way of your mining? I think, sir, anytime there's national issues or issues, you try to focus on the less important ones. I don't know, say, important issues, but the BR say the big jokes. You can't, the BR important that on my own. You ain't talking about it.
Yeah, almost my NDC for boy for say election now, national registration, because there's a amount for the almost best test. You did in a day, and then they put a father, sometimes tell us slow down that you can't even play. And and on one ring said you're over here. What do I say? That's every will vote Ghana and Kwaya, why this are best? One ring said you're over reconciled in your book. One ring said you're over reconciled in your book. Now, you are rather thinking of totally something new. What do I say? Now, what you can go forward into our, I thought I can know or maybe now is really there.
It's unfortunate.
I know. Your reform, that I think, among me, you see a national ID. Your national ID, no, so I am making sure to be anybody. So you hear the enemy as a form of push. Both are region for over 40,000 with the same trouble. And you want to do a reform. Again, no. And I'm not going to have one.
Oh, she's aware. What are you talking about? The entire nation
reform then say, you best start with your master to you making sure that I'm your money in a 3 to 5. And on then, last election, we had a problem with time, man. Who is now here who say about the ball results at the time that did not make it practicable? What do I say? If you want to went to me and declare results on time, I don't know how the EC decided it would be able to declare the election at that time. It is now on only failure, no. Or no, the Baba and say, a Ghana, one moment election, a pound 5, and anything on one near your no. Say, a national security, Omoche, Halib no bono.
Yes.
Say, Commander, no, or you will be a responsible person. Because or punishment, and I'm a boy, no. Say, they are calling you a coin cook picture. Now, friend, I'll be done with a the boys in the show, and they then out me for a movie picture. Now, what we require out the prevent anybody or future journalists from coming there to embarrass you.
Right, for repeating the same
thing.
Yes.
Why do you go to Auntie? You are coaching a
Oh, I know the only. I think same young Casano. I see to me understand this. Security and Casano is something. Yes, they improve the welfare of their citizens. And ya basa machoism now. Simple Nipani at Fort Crembona. That is the purpose of the court system. But taking the law into your own hands to handle justice, innocent guy. No, I mean, or you're wrong, Crampona. What did you union condemn say? Sa ya cho ni abu sa style. Sa didn't you move? You're coming too far for that.
And I don't know who is obedient person obey accepting the responsibility. You get it. Or no need why a mistake or time journalist or time blue. If you are there was now you say and Klana no. What's the area signing on, right?
And
I think how one and can yet a open a very nice.
Oh, yes.
What are you telling me?
You have to show integrity to resign, yes.
Is it so? Can't you see that no negligence, no, on what kind of command plan? Everything on which means come and punish your plan. And can't you say, for 20 years without salary for 6 months? Because we are aware the commander no force any of the aqua.
But
if anybody in that country they take responsibility.
Colonel Acheampong, so T report now.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. And they're sure punishment of her. Or no name for the patcho. Inquiry, they saw the obey before command. And now they said, Jimmy, yeah, my commander near you. Or Niniansa. If you want to your commander in charge of Friday Pana, once Nian Niniansa, you accept responsibility. Then we build the state from there. You don't just get out and almost reassign you. Oh, yeah. Punishment. Right?
I hope not, because I didn't really. No. I hope so.
No, not only that. No, for me, in your family, you have to say if I'm new. But it has to get to the point, that if we don't learn the lesson, nature will keep repeating the thing. And the earlier the better, so that we save everybody all this stuff. So, journalists open, for the fact that only nothing wrong.
Oh, there be another only. Sa statement, and some people, I don't mean to disrespect anybody, be more so much more conscience. Kwakubako, Canada, Japan. One say the government investigations, I suppose them. They want to politicize it. Now Kwakubako was suffer such a bad fate. At one point, was Rollins Atata was and there were fellow journalists, young journalists who are inspirational to these guys. They are suffering this bad fate because.
What you hear video evidence with a evidence and Sunny Akasa. Or no time I had flying and a show, which I did you my. As a saw that now cannot fit in any effort to say,
I know.
We won't hear in the area. The national security will be now wake up and your children and that's what I come on there. Then you go and sit down there and then you come. I think your head is empty now.
Oh no, I was very shocked to hear that from Kwakubako.
And now there police, soldiers now Munipaku Junior. Your fan is on one punish or Munipa number.
Right.
If you are take the line you're wrong, no better.
That's what I'm saying, sir. After Morton, has exposed them.
Still now walk at any wrong. Don't you think it's time for you to come and be smart?
Oh yeah, I mean people like that, and I know, say Kennedy and Co. I know who said statement on kind that they didn't have much information, and I said they were just doing politics because indeed, said Nipadi or Chantra, you can easily tell. Guy, sharing the testimony now, he was actually assaulted though. You see, he was actually assaulted.
Almost where the power lies.
Oh, they did.
No.
They did.
Share the power, Kaka. It's quite wide. And what be no more treasure, and I no
so let's do this. What is the future of your national security? Because we need BB. How do I do so? I can't say me or say Ghana is gradually becoming a policing state or police state.
Oh, yeah.
But Busa Haruna Idrisi, was he not the same person You know, the same national security bosses are 4 years ago, almost chair various ministerial position, you know. Almost about the anymore were appointed. So yes, it's not double standard being a creating.
Say, vetting,
I vetting. They had the power to probe these people. You pass them. Now, what's going to be
that's something that may know it's about time. Politicians, you know, they should be seen for who they are. What they are saying. Otherwise, they will always think they are smarter than us. What power to do something? You never did it. Now you are coming to tell me so that I'll vote for you to come. I can do what? What was it? It's just about time. So we'll be calling it what that you did. You had everything. Okay, I could have told you now, resign, master media, and the issue, statement, and everybody. Before more criticize almost more perform. Now, at this point, you will be a better to said the number can review and a money opportunity and a more different thing. So that you know, and I make us a national security fund here. So I'm calling you come
yes.
And I buy a young horse here. They should think about it. Your leader needs to think about it. Who destroy our own life because next 3 years we are for more. We declare me a year more. If you are national security now, what I will police me, bank of what? There are certain things that so people back. If you have a real feeder, or not, or to go being or chairman the party about. It's over restore life, yeah. Fine. But now maybe and yes, and I make a national security, no more be study and they should calm down.
Recently, you know, the national security under this government, you know, almost public too much with very bad news. What's say?
Not almost said that national security. And I make who says that as I said, national security, you think for man, it be our advanced version of it will be a political cry, and you recruit press or for national. What I say. Obi said you need intelligence gathering, or need answer, or need a camouflage, and you'll be a bomb. Oh, yes. When the national security, you know, say, big dogs will say, oh, Marco Payapa, and I do buy I mean, what kind of president Kakran from a bomber to non national security? Oh, why is he our number? No, where that the intelligence? We are in close. So,
anyway, for I mean, these 3 major issues Omar will take on. I have to say thank you very much. The other subsequent weeks ahead of us, and so we will be knocking your doors for your views. For I mean, these 3 major issues Omar will take on. I have to say thank you very much. The other subsequent weeks ahead of us, and so we will be knocking your doors for your views. Just ended was Edu say
When you finish.
all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm saying 3 issues are started, you know. It's even though he seems to combine them, but he was able to give a practical opinion about it. The situation that happened in Ghana, you know, I very, very frustrating. It's been very disturbing. So we'll share city as a I mean, you see national security and more creative culture of impunity. I take a political line. Sometimes you don't get answers. We just finished elections. About 8 innocent, unarmed civilians in the EU. People say it exposed the weakness of the opposition party, no? Because for city news, see how city pushes our agenda, no? As of now, most Ghanaians are saying that there's even an attack on their journalism, or say attack on journalists. I'm almost about a virtual demonstration against the government. any say this good news say now the government has made up the mind that what fire 4 of them. Yes, someone go back to our previous units, you know. So there are no more than Ghana National Security, including Colonel Achimai. You investigate your movie as well. Baby be able to find no more culpable. You put on before the law. I believe that is in the right direction. The same way, some are also saying so you forget about Nkofone during the election because some NDC4. But as opposition leader, you mark the conduct being bad or good of the ruling party. Then you demand accountability. Indeed, the national chairman of NDC, for example, make this statement about 2 weeks ago. Say Nipana Omu, you know, they will go after. But the question is, what move and automatically? How long? You know, such poor people must be justice. Look, I think it's not too late. Azuka or Azugu, any team, no, because as a national security, we don't need that. I will say it dissolve that unit, you know, as soon as possible from the national security. That combating team, no, because the Ghana police, look why you units be they're in charge of combating. We can push them back there. Yes, CPC keep your man so that police they can be well identified. Even SWAT in the SWAT unit. We have our SWAT unit, so the Bonia between identify now. Police striking force, police panther unit. You know my identities are the Bonia, you to me, I identify them. I think that will also be very helpful. Then say you be jai almost say ya now be the open. And it doesn't seem and it's not helping. And you know, I recommend say citizens, you know, as Obama said, no, let's keep talking and let's not stop the march or the protest until say you beat your political country, you know, to democratic origin. You see, because Ghana, no, yeah, democracy itself, like I said, very fragile. Yeah, be a complex ideology. It is a be the two men who be no one protected and one guiding the panel very well. And you must see NAC. These are some of the outcomes ever. You see, society should not be devoid of accountability, transparency, and justice. You see, so our innocent people, me, it has been my cause, these people will have justice. Now, and then you mentioned, you be asked, we be out to me, join a, or be also a tea program, you be, and the show why.